All right, folks, part 2 of Wildstar. So these are 25-minute timed demos. Let's pick something a little bit different here. Switch on over to a Draken. Now, this is the new class, if I recall correctly, the Stalker.
The Stalker, yeah.
All right, cool. We'll go with that. And we're going to take the Explorer path this time around.
All right.
Let's make something a little bit more interesting. Just saying. It's just a recommendation. I think it'll help him in later life.
Sure.
All right. Okay, then. So what's the difference between a soldier and an explorer?
So, again, these are based on the Bartle types. The soldier is more the killer. If you like to just kill stuff, you don't care about quest text, you're just clicking through stuff just to get more murder done, that's a soldier.
Okay.
The explorer is the type of person that can go to every single part of the map, jump to the highest mountains, unlock secret passageways, underground, and you can open it for other people too, because there's quests and stuff like that in those micros that only the explorer can open. And the cool thing is, when you open it as an explorer, there are other pieces of content that help out other paths too. So it's crossing paths, as we like to call it.
Okay. All right, so we've grabbed ourselves a quest here. So, which direction should I be going in to find something worth exploring?
So there's a few. We can go back to the Granok area. There is a platformer-style puzzle that will take you up and around. You can also look to your left, I believe. I don't know if it's revealed yet or not, but you can actually find these passageways that'll crumble out. Actually, go to your right. There's a better one that I can think of.
Okay.
That if you saw our Blur trailer in 2011, at the end, the 3 protagonists kind of just fell through, and they got into this crazy underground hidden area. And that's very similar to what the Explorer does.
This is a friendly war pig, so...
It's a friendly war pig, so you cannot murder it.
That is unfortunate.
There's no bacon to be had for you on this time. I apologize.
I heard these guys are vegetarians anyway, so...
They are.
I guess we'll get away with it.
Yep.
Okay, so which direction do I need to be going?
So you want to go left, or, check this out, if you look at the various quests that you have, if you click on them, there's an arrow that points to where you should be going.
Okay, so quests and events.
Yep, so just click that. That arrow's pointing where you need to go.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah. So you can go up that tree over there, and you can do whatever you'd like. If you want to do the underground exploring stuff, we probably want to keep going along the river here.
Okay, you said we can go up the tree?
Yeah, you can go up this tree.
All right, let's have a look. See what's going on with it. So when I walk around the world, I'm going to be seeing, say, soldiers do holdout missions and things like that.
Yep.
It won't be something I'll be able to get directly involved with unless I'm grouped up with that guy.
Well, yeah, you can join up with them. I mean, they're public events, basically.
That was really stupid, and that was incredibly dumb.
No worries.
Guess which path I'm not picking in the future.
Well, so we're working on some double dash stuff right now. I mean, that is something that we're looking into. Like, do we want to keep it that way?
It's a little sensitive.
Right. And so we're still tweaking that. We're still working on it. But it is something that does happen on occasion. But we're kind of debating on what we want to map that to right now.
Well, when it comes to stabby, this guy seems to have that covered.
That is correct.
He's pretty good at it.
His innate as well is a cloak, a digital camo that kind of hides him from stuff.
Fair enough.
So he'll allow it. Now, if you can get these guys into the same area of effect, you can be hitting them with pretty much one ability. That was your stun right there.
Okay.
And a lot of your abilities are positional based. So if I stun the guy and then run around to his backside and stab him, he'll... that could be weird out of context, by the way. My apologies.
It's okay. We're cool with anything on this channel. Don't worry about it.
All right, fair enough. So it'll allow you to kind of take advantage of the fact that this guy has positional abilities by doing those stunts.
There we go. So we're going to slice and dice, and it's going to be in all different shapes and sizes by the end of that. We're not going to get hit by that. We remembered how to raid. Well, not really. Excellent. And well bacon comes out of him. That's just what we wanted to see.
Gator bacon, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Delicious.
Is it meat? Because I'll eat it. So not really a big deal. All right, let's find something to explore. We've done stabbing. Let's go climbing.
So we can go down over here along the river. You keep going to where it forks right here. Yeah. If you cross it, there's a path that should be like kind of right in front of you that way.
Okay. So have a quick hop over to that.
Yep.
It's like no real reason to, just
it's going over
why
here.
Not?
So that just popped up. If you click on the thing that's in your path mission UI there, you can do that.
Yeah.
So it's showing you that it's somewhere in the area. You know, we wanted to leave some sort of exploration for
I see
explorers.
unstable ground over there.
Yeah,
So.
I wonder what that could be.
Huh.
So if you right-click on that to investigate it.
This sounds like a really good thing to do, he says as he throws himself down a tunnel for no good reason. There we go.
So here you are. You are in this micro that only explorers can get to.
Okay.
We wanted to have paths be, you know, pretty much completely different, so that it's not the same thing if you wanted to have, say, an alt character or something like that.
Yeah.
You could have a different experience even in the same zone.
Now, you say zone. Now, you also said micro as well. So we're talking micro instance content here?
Yeah, it's instanced in the sense that, well, it's not really instanced. I mean, it's just a micro. Everybody could get down here if you're an explorer.
Right, okay. So it's a micro zone.
Yes.
That you could get down here as long as you're an explorer, but let's say I go in here, I will find other explorers here.
Yeah, if there was another explorer hanging out down here, you will run into them. It's not like they're going to be phased out or anything like that.
Yeah, so, yeah, you mentioned phasing, actually. Do you have any intention of actually using that technology?
We will use phasing, but we try to limit it as much as we possibly can. The thing that kind of sucks in other games is if you're playing it and you see your buddy and then all of a sudden he just disappears.
Oh, God, it's just awful, isn't it? And
right.
It's one of the things that you've got to think, well, it's an MMO. I've got to make a sacrifice somewhere, otherwise nothing happens. That
right.
looks hilarious, by the way. I want to have him do that again, just so people can watch it.
The wow, you know, he's trying to.
Trying to claw my face off and not really doing a great job of it.
Oh man!
Go on, try and claw my face off. He's going to actually just kill me with all. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wait, there it is.
So, I have a stupid sense of humor. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're not the only one to laugh at that, actually. So yeah, this is an interesting kind of conversation about phasing. I mean, we try to use visual phasing in the sense that if maybe you've seen our Northern Wilds content for the Exiles, what happens with that is there's a weather altering device, and you can still see your homies, but what happens is the skybox changes.
Right.
So for me, I see snow. For you, you see clear skies.
Yeah.
But you can still see each other. So that's the kind of phasing that we like to use.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know, that's not really a big deal for people. It's when your guy starts to disappear or a quest giver's in the wrong place. Like, you got guys standing talking to someone you can't even see. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So we try to avoid it whenever we can.
Yeah, certainly. It's a dangerous tech. There's no real doubt about that.
So you also unlocked a challenge there in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay.
It's
timed by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly. Different challenges have different sort of abilities, or different requisites, I should say.
Okay.
So this one, I believe, is just to kill Pumera. So you're trying to do it within the 3 minutes and 46 seconds that you have left.
All right, we'll chop up as many as we can while we're doing this in the meantime. So when do you anticipate to be able to show people the other two paths and the kind of things that they can expect to see?
In the coming months. This is something that we want to aggressively get out there. You know, at PAX, I think this is the first time where people are really getting to experience the game at, you know, and have an
certainly
understanding.
to this kind of degree, there's no real doubt.
Exactly. So we wanted to make sure that we came out really strong and had stuff. Like, we have a thing with our marketing where we're basically showing things that either we already have or are on route to making pretty strong.
Sure.
We don't want to, you know, shoot for the moon and then not hit the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many people try and do that with MMOs as well. And unfortunately, what we've seen is that there's a very high failure rate with this genre. It's a dangerous genre, and it costs a lot of money to make as well.
That's very true. This is something, you know, we were talking about earlier, if you look at a first-person shooter, that is one type of demographic that you're appealing towards. If you talk about MMOs, you have the dungeons, you have the PvPs, you have the raids, you have trade skills, you have all this stuff that you need to impress people on. And so that takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of money, takes a lot of understanding. And, you know, I think because we have such an experienced team and such a passionate team, we can come up with stuff that is not only stuff that we think is fun, but we hope other players will think is fun too.
Yeah, there's no real doubt about that. All right, let's keep a move on, shall we? Just deal with a few more of these. There we go.
Pumera. It looks like you're en route to fixing this.
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm not sure I'll be able to hit the mark. It depends if we find any more Chimera. There you go.
The cool thing in here, and this is this build is actually like 3 months old.
Okay.
So we've had some updates and changes to systems, but the challenge system specifically, the loot rewards that you get at the end of it is pretty cool. We have basically like a roulette wheel of things that you could win. So challenges, some of them are repeatable, some of them are not. So if there's a blue item or something on there that you're like, man, I want to get that, you can go through the challenge again and again, and you can see
you'll eventually, hopefully get it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's just for the type of player that maybe wants to do that. Some people want to do that, some people don't. And
some people absolutely hate the very notion of it.
Yes.
I tried to get my Arcanist belt over and over and over again.
Right.
Never got it. By the time I got my Arcanist belt, I had Netherwind. That's just the way that it goes.
Right. Yeah.
Thankfully, I hope it's not as extreme as that.
No, I don't think it is. And it's something that we tune regularly. And here's the thing. Carbine Studios, we're all friendly people, but we're also critical a-holes when it comes down to it. And so when something is not going the way that we like it, we'll go into that person's office and let them know.
Like, fix this.
Yeah, like, for the love of God, man, I don't want to be here all day. So it's something that we work on pretty regularly.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world to have to worry about your co-workers' feelings, where it's like, we need this game not to suck, otherwise we won't have jobs anymore.
Well, so the thing is we don't have souls. So really, we're really not worried about hurting people's feelings. And for the most part, we give each other a lot of crap, and it works out well for the company culture, actually.
Yeah, I think that seems like the healthiest way to really deal with anything creatively. You've got to have peers that are willing to tell you that your stuff sucks in order to actually get better at it.
Yeah, no, that's true. And we've worked through a lot of that stuff.
Always good to see.
Yeah. So also, when you're done with this, I think you actually completed your challenge. So after you kill this guy, if you look to the right where the challenge UI was, up in the top right corner, there's a little UI. It's like, just to your right. There you go. So if you click on that UI, you can hit get rewards.
Okay, let's have a look at the rewards.
So these are changing. This is, again, we're still working on the game. But you can, in this build, you can look at XP, you can get gold, or you can get rep.
All right, so
hoping for the monies.
Maybe I get it, maybe I don't.
Right.
When I click on it, it doubles my chances, and it's like, nope, you're not having it.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, did I? There we go.
Yeah.
It almost looked like I wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we also have the loot pinata there, stuff exploding out. But we also have V for vacuum. So once you kill one of these guys, all that loot pinata comes out. You hit V, it just sucks straight into you.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I really like and enjoy about our game, is we're taking all the stuff that is a pain in the butt and basically saying, okay, how can we make this better? And, when you have to sift through 800 different things, it gets really old after a while.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think every MMO by nature is going to be repetitive. Right?
Yeah.
Every game, including yours to some degree, it's a repetitive game. You fight the same stuff and things like that. And I suppose the real challenge is it's not a case of you can't make it not repetitive because it takes so long to do anything in MMOs, but you've got to put enough, just something to keep people hooked in, keep people interested.
Definitely.
Whether it be new mob types, new abilities, or things like, as you showed there, that sort of loot pinata idea and the roulette-style system and slot machine and so on and so forth.
Right. And so
it's a difficult challenge.
What you just did was actually you just traveled halfway across the zone.
Oh, okay.
Or the tract, I should say.
Right. So this area that I unlocked actually has a use.
Yeah. So you just found out, and now you have access to that. So you can go through that, go through the tunnel, and then go back up. Now I want to point out something to your right.
Yeah.
If you look up here, this is a skull pile that's to your right, and it is. You can put skulls on those spikes, and that will give you rep. So it's also a public event, so if everybody in the zone puts all these skulls on there, you'll get a combat buff that will increase some of your stat potency.
Okay, so it's something that people will themselves work towards. There we go.
Yeah. And we thought, what's the most metal thing we can possibly do? Let's put some skulls on spikes. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. It's like, we really like brutal legends, so how can we make that into an MMO in some way? There we go. I think that's all of the skulls that I've got. So there's a little bit of rep and so on and so forth. Now I'll just flip my way off there, and off we go.
Yeah.
So I am anticipating the YouTube comments, as I always do. And I want to give you a chance to really talk about this, because this is the criticism that I think you're going to be meeting a lot, especially based on the graphic style and the way that the game works. Your game looks a lot like World of Warcraft. Why should I play your game instead of World of Warcraft?
Well, here's the thing. We do have some WoW developers on the game.
Yep.
And you know what? We'll take that criticism because it's not a criticism. That's a great game. But the thing about it is our combat is really different from WoW's. We have this dash, double jump, heavily movement-based game, where you're moving around and you're attacking. There are similarities on some things. I mean, there is an action bar.
Yeah.
There is quests with exclamation marks over people's heads that you have to take. But if you look at your action bar at the bottom there, we have a limited action set.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, we don't have like 18,000 abilities that are on the bottom of your screen. But what's cool about it is over the game, you'll be earning something like 30 to 35 abilities, and you have to pick which of those abilities is the best for you in the right situation.
Yeah.
What's cool about that is if you go into stuff like PvP or dungeons, that changes. My build for those two things is completely different.
So it's probably good to talk a little bit about a couple of sets of mechanics and leveling up and things like that. So the common way of dealing with things now is, of course, the Wildstar, which is talent trees, and in progression, that's basically how you learn new skills and so on and so forth. How does it work in Wildstar?
So we have a milestone system that we'll talk about probably in about a month or so.
Okay.
It's changing a little bit. In this build, it's kind of older, but basically, as you're kind of going through the game, you can spend your points towards different things, and when you have let's say your strength or something like that at a certain level, you can unlock certain perks, and I can pick which perk I want to use on my character, and it allows you to kind of modify stuff to the way that you want to be. It's a little bit different than a talent tree, but it's very similar to something like a perk system.
Fair enough. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Digestion imminent. All right, where is he? No, that's the skull. There we go. All right, that's convenient.
right against the wall there.
Yep.
So yeah, this guy is actually inside the Mammoden, which is basically a space rhino, we'll call it. So you're trying to basically free this guy from intestinal fortitude.
That would be unfortunate.
Yes.
Go away.
And this is a poacher here. These are marauders.
He won't be in a minute. I'll tell you that for a fact. There we go.
And he's been murdered. He's been poached, I guess.
How unfortunate for him.
Yes.
Maybe he shouldn't have been in the area. All right, so he's around here somewhere. We're looking for a space rhino. But what on earth is that thing?
So these are more marauders that are poaching the area. So again, the Draken are not happy about these guys because they're taking their kills.
Yeah.
They're kill stealers, basically, is what it comes down to.
That's a horrible thing to do.
Yes.
I got to say, your design is very embellished. I mean, you're doing a lot of larger-than-life stuff with your actual character design. Was there any specific inspiration for this?
There's a lot of inspiration, actually. We wanted to have character silhouettes that were different. We wanted to have player classes that people would look at it and go like, oh, what, 9-foot-tall robot? Duh. That's my thing. Or giant rock guy? Yeah, I think I'll play that. So, I mean, Saturday morning cartoons, comic books are a huge influence, movies. All those things kind of put together are pretty much our inspiration.
Well, I'm going to chop this rhino to pieces and see how it goes. There's nothing practical about my flipping around and killing people, but I want to be a space ninja, and this is allowing me to do that. So
indeed. The
okay
Stalker specifically is very much like moving around, cutting, highly mobile.
Yeah.
And very positional based.
Certainly. This probably was not the right rhino, by the looks of it.
You got to keep looking. And the cool thing is, Furlow, he gave you a comm call. So you were just out in the field, and he's like, help, anybody, help, help. And he called you to see if you can save him.
Now, is that a trigger that happened in a very specific area of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. So you'll walk into a region, and we'll unlock comm calls for you.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you can get them from quest givers that are in specific hubs, and you can just go out and do your quest, but say you miss it. Say it's something, caught your eye and you're running off the other direction. Well, we'll call you and let you know, like, hey, you missed me, but if you want to do this quest, here you go.
Yeah, you can do that. It's nice. There we go. Well, that was someone. It looks like something is going unpleasantly wrong for him.
And, the comm calls are a great way for us to deliver lore, too, in a way that's not intrusive or makes you stop or makes you, really just kind of focus on one thing.
Totally.
You can keep killing, and you still get the idea of what's happening to him.
Yeah, certainly. Or you might just leave him alone.
Or that, or just let him die in his stomach.
Yeah, why not? It's like, I'm pretty sure he offered me intestinal juices as a reward, and you're like, you know what, I'm not really into that.
I don't need it, thanks.
No, I could do without that. Thank you very much. There we go.
A big part of our items, too, is I think making good items is based off of what you're actually doing. Obviously, the stats are a big thing, but when we're coming up with these items, we want to give players things that remind them of the quest. When you get a weapon off of a guy you killed, we wanted to make sure that it was from him specifically.
All right.
So yeah, getting stomach acid from these guys is a good example.
Yeah,
of that.
why not? Nice, got knocked in the air there. That was pretty cool.
And yeah, there's another example of our creature telegraphs that vary up.
Yep, I ate that one. It's just like, I've been paying attention for the most part. Not quite.
And as we progress through the year here, we'll also kind of show off more of the telegraphs and the abilities and all the fun stuff that we can do with this stuff.
Certainly. All right, well, it seems like a good time to wrap this up then. You've seen a couple of different paths available, as well as a couple of different classes here for Wildstar. Now, do you have a date when you're thinking about going into beta so that people can start to really hammer on this game?
So we're in closed beta right now.
Right.
It's a very minimal amount. We want to make sure that everything's functional.
Sure.
We are ramping up, though. Within the month, we'll be having a couple more 1,000 people in, and we'll continue that prospect until we're getting closer to launch. We'll have a lot of people in the game checking it out.
Slash dance is not enabled yet. Just letting you know that. Very important. All right, folks, thank you very much. This has been Wildstar from Carbine Studios, coming your way hopefully sometime in 2013 for sci-fi MMO action. Thank you very much for showing us the game today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.